Alright, let's get it. I'm gonna open it like that with the douchiest way to open a podcast.
Alright, let's get this bread.
God. Hello everyone, and welcome to the 85th episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. With me as always is my friend, co-host, and... oh, God, I should really plan this out before we do it. I have nothing...
Write a whole list.
I have nothing to say, really. Shark tooth necklace. I've already done that, but...
we're hitting a repeater, it seems.
Yeah. Beard regrown, buddy? You shaved the beard and now it's back, so...
And now it is back?
I have to say, it looks much better this way than
with the beard.
No, I mean, also when you had the beard before, but like now that's it's a bit more tamed. You know?
It's a bit tamed.
You look less like
before
it
was very bushy, very wild man.
Yeah, didn't suit you at all. You're a very domesticated kind of dude.
Really ugly.
Well, how you doing, Frederick?
It's been months.
I feel like we should open the show with a bit of like, and by a bit I mean like 2 minutes worth of like just a little casual catch up, you know, even though we kind of do that off pod anyway, so it's a little bit weird to do it just on pod again.
So
but
just run it again.
You've been doing anything exciting lately? Anything come up?
Well, in relation to the pod, I somewhat went to the cinemas.
That's right. We're back. DK opened up the cinemas, and you.
Yeah. So I went and saw a Danish movie with
It's my whale
your
call.
mic cut, so I just heard.
God, a little Easter egg for you when you listen back.
It's called, I guess, in English it would be called Riders of Justice, Retfærdighedsrytter.
It's a lot less lame than it sounds.
Yeah, it's actually not. It's actually pretty cool. Such a good movie. You haven't seen this, have you?
No, but I've seen the trailer. It looks very fun. It does. It's
so good.
Mess is out here in like every big franchise, but he's in all these little Danish films, just having a blast.
He's local and global.
God, what a legend. So yeah, and you went back to the cinema, and I do believe you went to Gentofte Kino, which is one of my favorite places. It's where I began my love for the art of filmmaking, I guess, because I saw Birdman there. So, big stuff. And
I have to say, seats, not the most comfortable.
But there's so much leg room, though. I mean, it's a
yeah, but what's good about that if I can't sit up and get terrible back pains?
I mean, for those who haven't been, which I'm assuming is literally everyone listening, it's quite like an old-timey cinema. It's like, they usually show like classic...
It's one big... one
screen.
It's only one cinema room.
And they show like more the independent kind of films, Oscar kind of films there. Although, they show blockbusters as well, but it's a lovely, lovely place. I love it.
It's alright. I'll go again if I must.
Wasn't it lovely to get back to the cinema?
It was so good. Sat there with popcorn and just enjoyed it.
Man,
it was so good. It was quite awkward because we started the movie and then like 20 minutes in, the guy who's the guy who runs it, he comes in, he's like, "I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen," stops the movie, and he's like, "Yeah, there's supposed to be Danish subtitles on this, but no, English subtitles on this, but there weren't, because people apparently had asked for that." So then we restarted the movie.
That's the worst.
I was like, "Good job, Gentofte Kino."
We love you, Gentofte Kino, but that's
but you done messed up there.
So you had to watch the 20 minutes. Oh, that's just a bit of an awkward thing, isn't it?
It is. Oh, yeah.
That's a shame. And you need those English subtitles because we know you're very...
I've got no clue what was happening.
Oh, man. Well, hey, I am actually making my epic return to the cinema tomorrow. So, and I'm seeing Druk. We both return with a Mikkelsen adventure.
God, I still haven't seen Druk, and I'm so upset about it.
And, so it should be great. Cinemas are starting to open up in Denmark with all this, still corona precautions and everything, but it's looking up. So, good stuff. It is.
And you and I are soon hitting a little cinema trip as well.
We might be hitting a Woody, one might say.
Oof,
and as the listeners know, Woody is a people, not a place, which I've actually literally had to say to both my parents now when they were like, "I thought Woody's closed." I'm like, no. Woodie's a people, not a place. Okay?
Oh my God.
And they both immediately...
And they both disowned you, and now you're homeless.
Well, anyway, speaking of kind of what we just talked about, today is in fact a classic. I know the audience loves it and or probably just feels ambiguous.
Is this mini reviews?
It's a mini review episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah. One of the most indifferent kind of episodes. But it should be
God,
good.
I need to do a little thing here because I've watched so much stuff since the last time we did a mini review.
God. Well, I think we're gonna have to really make them mini because I have a lot of stuff as well. So I think we're gonna have to do a little bit of a speed round kind of thing if we're gonna have to. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 things here. I mean, some of them we already talked about King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. So yeah. Also, spoilers for everything we talk about. Also, there are time codes in the description down below. Skip around as you please. Well, while you're putting together your list, I'll start us off.
Yeah, I'll quickly put together my list.
I did, in fact, watch Ocean's 13. I completed my inexplicable run through the Ocean's film franchise. Although I still haven't seen Ocean's 8, but the Clooney era Ocean's films. And it was pretty whatever. It was fine.
I have to say they're fun, but it's not the most deep movies, are they?
No, it was a fun way to kill a couple of hours. Just I'll be honest, I wasn't really paying that close attention. I was.
I'll be honest, I don't remember at all who plays in it.
I was playing that Kingdom Rush on my phone while I was doing, because that's what I do. Because I'm a grown man who does these
I
kind of
wasn't
things.
playing the goofy skateboarding game.
God, I would kill to play that game again. That game is sick. But anyway, Dunkachino's in it. It's like a greedy hotel man.
It's a classic Dunkachino.
Yeah, again, they're fun. They have a fun style with like the music and the quick cuts and the banter with the team. And Pitt and Clooney have like it's on the borderline of being annoying banter because like clearly their banter, like the movie thinks they're really clever. However, Clooney and Pitt are the ones to pull off that kind of banter. So it kind of works.
If anyone can be annoying and witty, it's George.
But at the same time,
I was gonna say it's George and Clooney.
Well, yeah, that's quite a combo. But yeah, I don't know. Especially as they go, like the first movie, I think is like, as these films go, I feel like they get less and less smart, I guess, and more complicated. Mm-hmm. And like they still think they're really smart, but they're kind of like, by the third one, I was like, even I can kind of see the holes in this.
Even I see where this is going.
Whereas with the first one, me being a moron, I could not see any holes in that plan.
Totally lost.
But yeah, at least this time, Bruce Willis and Julia Roberts didn't play themselves, which was dumb.
That's always a plus.
But yeah, what about you? What you been doing?
Well, I won't put together a list. I'll just kind of think of it as it comes.
Hashtag poorly planned.
It's too much pressure. Hashtag poorly planned. I have started and been binging to an unhealthy level Sons of Anarchy. The show.
I'm not familiar. I mean, I've heard of it obviously, but I don't motorcycles, I think.
God, you think so right. No, yeah, it's like a motorcycle gang, kind of like it's called Sons of Anarchy, starring the masterful Raymond Smith.
God,
as the main character.
How they get Hugh Grant in that?
They get Raymondo. Oh yeah, so the Hunnam is in it.
Jeez.
Very, very delightful performance. A young Hunnam compared to what we've gotten used to now.
Compared to the elderly bag that we've had to
compared
endure.
to the broken old dude we see in The Gentleman.
Huh.
And Ron Perlman.
I love Ron Perlman. He has the coolest voice of anyone ever.
He does have a very good voice for it. And it's very gritty. Also, I think this is the dude, but and correct me if I'm wrong here, all the poorly planned fans, but I believe that Shades is in it.
Ooh. A young Shades, you say?
A young Shades playing a guy called Juice. But yeah, it's very, very good. Quite brutal. But also, and it's very, it's not for everyone, I don't think. It's very testosterone filled, I'll say.
That's a useful description that I'll use whenever I talk about like the UFC. I'm like, guys, this is a very testosterone filled topic. So it may not be for some.
So, ladies, you can back out now. Cool music, cool. Yeah, it's all around pretty good. There's a guy who's only got one testicle called Half Sack. I think there's a few things that are.
That sounds like something from like How to Train Your Dragon. Like someone there would be called Half Sack.
Hiccup and Half Sack. But yeah, so I started 5 days ago, I think, and I'm already halfway through season 3.
Jeez.
And it's 14 episodes per season, and it's an hour-long episode. So
what the?
So you can tell what I've been doing.
Well, and this is not meant this is not meant in an insulting way. Genuinely, when people binge series, I'm not judging that. I just don't understand where you get like the time, like.
I've got so much time.
Because I guess you have no life, I suppose.
Because I guess you have no goals to achieve.
I mean, I have to say, and not to give all your personal info out to the pod, but like, you're a pretty busy man in terms of like you're like hanging out with people. I
run 3 hotels.
Like you're hanging out with people, you're doing work, and then you also find time to watch all this stuff. And also, I remember when you used to live extremely far away from everything, it would also take you like several hours to get places. So I was like, where does this man?
How does he
I was
do
like,
it?
either man has a time machine or cocaine. It's one or the other.
Or both, I say.
Maybe the time machine is fueled by cocaine.
No, I hit a few episodes at night, and then sometimes in the morning. If I have like spare hour in the day, just hit one.
Fair enough.
No, yeah, it's borderline unhealthy, but I do
also
enjoy
awesome. It. But also full of testosterone.
But it's also freaking cool.
Well, then on to something. It's not really a good transition here because it's a very dark film. Children of Men. I watched. Which have you heard of it? Are you cultured?
I have
or?
Not actually. Not me.
It's from 2006. I think it won a few Oscars. It's an amazing film, extremely dark and like gritty, but it's about a future where women no longer are able to have children, and so there are no kids left, and so the world has like kind of gone into this.
I think I have heard of this.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's pretty famous. The world's descended into this kind of not exactly chaos, but a really dark version of the future, which also what makes it dark is it's kind of like a realistic darkness.
Okay.
Like it's not like this like ridiculous dystopia. It's like you can picture how humanity would get here, and the film does an amazing job with like the world building and the sets and everything like in establishing this world. And it's just it has so many like brutal dark moments. It has these amazing extremely tense action scenes, and they're like these crazy one shot. The whole finale is like in one shot, and it's like going through this war zone. He's going in this
Birdman
building.
style.
It's man, it's it might be the same. I know it's not the same director, but yeah, it's man, it's phenomenal. It's extremely emotional. It's just it leaves you like exhausted afterwards. It's so tense and fucking yeah.
BHL nap for 3 days after seeing this.
I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it, including even buffoons as yourself.
Okay, I'll give it a watch then.
But yeah, so that's that.
I believe a while ago I talked about Train to Busan,
you did
the like
Zombies?
Korean movie. Yeah, the Korean zombie
zombies
movie.
in that.
Zombies and all that bizzazness. Well,
bizzazness.
I watched the sequel to that, which came out last year, I think, called Peninsula. As Train to Busan 2 Peninsula or something.
I thought you'd already seen it.
No.
I thought you said it wasn't.
You're such a fool. No,
I thought you said it wasn't very good.
No. So the reviews aren't very good. I hadn't seen it, but then I saw it, and I can say the reviews speak the truth. It's it's like it's such a generic action movie. It's just it's not great.
Characters as the first.
No, it's just in the same world, so none of the same characters. I thought there would be like an Easter egg of the girl having grown up or something, but no, it's all just, and it's such a generic plot as well. It's like these dudes who have to go to a zombie like infested region of Korea that's been like quarantined because there's a truck full of cash, and then bring it back to mainland wherever they are, and then of course there's some people still living there, and then it all goes south, and God, it's just not very good.
It all goes South Korea, because Busan.
That's brilliant. No, that's not you.
I believe I may be stupid. Maybe it's not.
It's in Nepal somehow.
It's in Brazil.
No, yeah. So it's can't really recommend it. Like
kind of like a lazy cash
not a
grabby
great
sequel, you would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hey. Speaking of zombies, though, I got two here that I'm gonna throw in. It does in fact involve the sneakiest Harrelson, the nerdiest Eisenberg, the
Go on.
Murray.
The deadest Murray.
The deadest Murray, Emma Stone, and what's the name of the girl? Can't remember. Anyway, I watched Zombieland 1 and 2.
Was this the first time you've seen it?
Yeah, I wanted to watch them for a while, and especially on your recommendation as well. You've been talking about it for a while, and they just seem like delightful films. And so, finally, I spotted them out in the wild.
I was out getting groceries, and I just saw Woody peeking.
Because I've decided to start doing this thing where it's just like, because you know how I don't know if you have this problem as well, but like I'll often look through Netflix or HBO or whatever it is, and like I'll spend all my time just looking
I'll
through
watch
it.
that at some point.
Yeah, but I never actually pick anything because I just spend like I'm like, should I watch this? Should I watch that? And I'm like, I'll just watch UFC. I don't know. Like I just pick an easy thing. So I just kind of go for the first thing I see now. That's what I'm trying, and at least for a bit. And Zombieland was there, and it was bloody
God, I'm sorry that Woody was the first thing you saw.
Genuinely, so much fun. I mean,
isn't it?
Very easy to watch. Went by like that. Like it's not a, I don't know, just the style of
it. Just brilliant, I say.
Just fucking epic. The style of it and the fun banter with the characters. It's just a very enjoyable film. And the second one is definitely worse, but it's still quite enjoyable. Have you seen the second one?
I've seen scenes from the second one, but I have not seen the whole thing, no.
It has some very fun moments. It has some delightful... I'm trying to think. I literally watched this like yesterday. I'm trying to think what happened.
Please, what did I do?
Like it has fun in it, but Harrelson is way too like you know how over the top Harrelson is just in general. So imagine a way too over the top Harrelson. Like that's what Harrelson.
Didn't know that was possible to go further.
Like I know the characters are sort of like caricatures, kind of, you know, they don't have the most depth. But like Harrelson is just like a parody of himself in the second one, which is kind of delightful at times, but a bit irritating in others. But yeah, just super fun. They're not scary, which I like because I don't really like scary movies. So they're zombie films that are like just fun and have the right amount of like gore and all that without making it, you know, gross. And I mean, obviously they're gross scenes, but
it's still Harrelson could not make a movie gross, but you know.
But yeah, just so much fun. And yeah, you're a big fan of Zombieland, aren't you?
I'm a religious fanatic, some might say.
Just worship the Harrelson all day. Try to get that zombie kill of the week.
Piano drop, I say.
God. Oh man.
No, I do enjoy it. Like I've only seen it once or twice, but it's a good time.
I genuinely thought it was one of your favorite movies. I
know.
I thought I was gonna get on here and you're like, you watched Zombieland finally, but no, you're severely underwhelmed.
No, I'm just like, all right, I'm sorry for you.
But I think you'd like the second one. Like it's nothing.
Okay.
It's very, again, easy to watch, enjoyable, whatever. It's good. And they wrote in this like really like cartoonishly stupid girl who's like meant to be extremely annoying, but she's actually like, and she is, but I thought it was actually kind of funny. Like I thought like this is gonna fall really flat. It did have its funny moments. Hey, it's not amazing.
Oh, doesn't she turn into a zombie or something?
Well, I mean, do you mind if I spoil it?
No, go for it.
I mean, so they think she's turning into a zombie, and then she shows up later, and it was just she had a nut allergy. So. But there's some fun little banter there with Emma Stone and her. Yeah. And also, by the way, real quick, since we talked about 3 zombie things in a row, I do want to say, what is your zombie survival plan if that were to happen?
What, just in general?
Yeah, like where are you going? Who are you killing?
Ooh.
How fast do you kill your dad?
That happens before this all breaks loose.
I like how that's a step that's necessary in surviving the apocalypse.
I just assume he's patient zero, even though he most likely is not.
Yeah, what do you do?
Good question. I honestly think that, especially out of most people, out of most of our friends, I think that we would be pretty well equipped compared to them for surviving one of these things.
Yeah, no offense. I mean, genuinely, some of our friends
everyone.
do listen to this, actually, which always surprises me and horrifies me when they tell me. So, no offense, guys, but...
I think Lele would do great.
Freddy's looking off as if Lele would not do great. Now, Lele knows how to do karate, man. He would f*** him up.
I was not being sarcastic. I'm just saying.
Fair.
I would probably, take my dad's many stashed illegal weapons and just go ham. No, I'd probably...
For the record, he does not have illegal weapons. Just putting it out there.
For legal reasons, that's a joke. And I get
think...
somewhere... Like, honestly, my old house would be perfect for a zombie.
Dude, your old house would be brilliant. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's just like... I mean, it's not a mansion per se, but it's a big house, and you can barricade it and
but it's 3 villas combined.
And I think I can't remember where I heard this, but going to the gym might be a bit of a shout, because there it's like, kind of fortified. You can work out and get super buff, so you can kill the zombies. There's equipment that you can murder
so
zombies.
So you live
with.
in the gym or what?
Yeah. Like I already do. But,
I'll just be sleeping there. I'm there all the time anyways.
And you can kill zombies with the gym equipment, and they're like protein snacks and healthy stuff for a bit.
Throw a rowing machine at it.
You throw an entire treadmill. And you
throw an entire gym.
You put a treadmill at the door, the zombie can't even, it's brilliant. It's foolproof.
I see you've thought this through quite a bit.
So anyway, yeah, moving on to whatever your next thing is.
Me and my paw, as they say, the criminal we just talked about, we watched Zodiac.
Ooh, a little Downey Jr. action.
Downey Jr. Gyllenhaal action.
Oh my, what a team up. I forgot they made that.
God, honestly, Gyllenhaal is definitely one of my favorite actors. God. He's just so... I love him. I want to be him.
For both his on and off screen antics.
Mainly his off screen antics, but anyways. Have you seen Zodiac?
I haven't.
Oh wait, go on.
What I was gonna say is not worth going back to it. I'll just say, low key, I just thought about this. Gyllenhaal is kind of like an American Hunnam, looks wise, if we're just being real. Like, think of him with his...
See, you always make these...
Think of him with his Spider-Man hair, and then think of Raymundo's hair. Come on. Low-key similarity. Anyway,
God,
I have not seen
Zodiac.
You
have the worst comparison.
I have
of
the
people.
best comparisons.
We won't get into it, because I could bury you, but please.
I've had some stinkers over the years, but I have, generally speaking, the best comparisons. But no, I've not seen Zodiac.
It's just so... It's so wrong. It's so not true. But yeah, Zodiac. It's like a crime thriller thing. It's
7-esque?
It's very long. What do you say?
7-esque?
What the hell did you just say to me? No. It's I don't know. It's definitely not as intense as 7. I don't think, because I mean it's all based on a real story, right? On the Zodiac killer, and it's very realistic in that like it always deals with some very serious things, but it doesn't go over the top either. And some characters are pretty gross. Gyllenhaal puts in a great performance. So does Downey Jr. So does
Gyllenhaal puts in a gross performance.
Is Ruff in it? I believe Ruff is in it.
Of course Ruff is in it. Even I know Ruff is in it.
Yeah, he puts in
I can smell the Ruff.
An average Ruff performance, I'd say. But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. Like, it's very, very well made, and I'd watch it again.
Huh. Yeah, no, I think I own it. I think I own the rights to that movie.
I think I'm Ruffalo's master.
Because I think I bought, like, a long time ago an iTunes, like, pack of films, and that was in there, and I've just never watched it, but it looks bloody... If it's less tense, or if it's less intense than 7, I think that's right up my alley, because 7, while a great film, is a bit too, like, yucky for me.
God, never go for a yucky movie.
So, yeah, like a version of that's a little bit less, like, gruesomely disgusting. Yeah, I'm here for that. Are you ready for this transition? David Fincher directed Zodiac. David Fincher also directed Gone Girl. Gone Girl stars Ben Affleck. So I watched I watched The Town with Ben Affleck.
I've seen The Town.
Recently? Or just generally?
I mean, I watch it every morning before breakfast.
Fucking great
Generally.
movie.
It's a really good movie.
So good. It has the meanest of Renners. Like, just Renner's just the shittiest dude. So they just filmed him without his consent. No, I'm sure Renner's a lovely guy. I mean, well, let's not get into that. Maybe, I don't know. Let's not talk. But just a really tense, well executed. Like, I guess it's a crime. It's not really a crime film. Like, it has crime in it, but it's more like a.
It's more of a heist thing.
Heist thriller, action.
Yeah, no, it's quite good.
Even like, yeah, great performances. Ben Affleck giving the most Boston accent of all Boston accents. I would do it, but I don't really know how to.
Do it. Try it.
No, I only can do like a New York accent.
Go on.
I'm like, nah.
No. Everyone wants to see it.
Boston. There you go. That's my Boston accent.
I feel like hot melted chocolate just flowed over your microphone. You just said that. Boston.
Boston.
I regret asking you to do this. Let's move on. Pronto.
But no, yeah. Excellent, really exciting film. The whole the whole nun action sequence. It's kind of a weird thing to say, but like, yeah, the heist part where they're dressed up as nuns and all that. It's also like, yeah, it's not just like a actiony kind of film. Like, the character stuff is really well done. Rebecca Hall's great in it. Just a good movie, you know. It's just, it does everything right. It does it all well.
Like it.
2 thumbs way up. Yeah, no, big banger.
How many Boston accents would you give this one?
I'd give it 3 Bostons out of. Actually, no, I'd give it 8.5 Bostons out of 10.
I think, I don't remember the last time we did this, but I believe it's time for a certain man's anime hour.
But I don't have an anime hour. Oh no! He's done it.
Cue the intro.
I straight up no.
Come on, do it, please.
I'm sorry.
You make me look like such a fool if you don't.
Exactly. Go ahead.
I also very much a binge this. I binged Jujutsu Kaisen, which is a fairly new anime show, like a
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Kaisen.
Right.
That makes it so much better. But genuinely, one of my favorites. It's really, really good. It's got really, really good animation, and there's a few characters that are just so likable. And there's also pretty good humor. At one point, he's the main character. He gets disappointed. Okay, I'll stop now because it sounds super lame when you don't actually see this.
No, go ahead.
But you've got vengeance in your eyes.
This is payback for my Boston accent.
This is for Boston.
Boston.
And so at some point I hate that I started saying this. I'm really digging myself a grave here. But he turns into like a paper man and lies on the floor and wiggles and is sad. Which I know sounds it's
more just
this podcast.
I didn't even say anything. Except for that does sound like what you do every afternoon when you think about your life.
Okay. No, yeah, that was
become a paper boy and wiggle around.
Good
the room.
one. But yeah, a very, very good show and very good action.
So does
one
he
of my
do
favorite
jujitsu
anime characters in that.
What?
So, Jujutsu, it involves curses and cursed energy. So curses are these things that stem from, are like monsters basically that stem from negative energy caused by humans. So like in like schools or hospitals, like negative, sad energy, and then creates these. And then Jujutsu soldiers or agents are like basically exterminators of that.
Oh, so it has nothing to do with Jujutsu, the martial art.
No, not really.
Huh.
No, so it's Jujutsu.
Jujutsu.
So there's no I. It's all U's.
So it's like a fantasy thing. It's not.
It's a fantasy action kind of thing, and yeah, it's very, very good.
All right.
I think you would enjoy, sir.
I mean, I did like what I've seen of One Punch Man, so an action fantasy kind of thing. It's not. It's more appealing to me than I'm a volleyball man and I wear orange, whatever that was called, or a guy.
What? My teen rom-com is not as I expected it to be.
No, Haikyuu.
Like
Haikyuu. That's what it is.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, Haikyuu. Well, you got me Haikyuu clothes.
I did, which I'm still disappointed that we haven't seen an Instagram pic of them. But for Freddy's birthday, I did in fact get him a Haikyuu costume. I say costume, but it's really just a practical gym wear. So.
I have worn it playing tennis and volleyball.
Really?
I'll have you know.
I still haven't seen you. I still think it'd be way too small for you, which also kind of makes it much more hilarious. But if it actually fits,
it is quite small. But so I do a sneaky thing where like the shorts are okay. I usually put it on when it's a little bit chilly outside, so I put like an Under Armour long sleeved underneath, and then that over it, which just makes me look buff.
Well.
And God knows I needed it.
Well, speaking of nothing really. I mean, we finished Tafaz. It's been a while though. I don't really know if we should go into.
I don't think we talked about it.
What'd you think of let's say the finale? Finale and overall? What'd you think of the finale? We have Macked in America, as we established last time.
Yeah, we have established the icon that is Macked in America. I won't lie. It got very Marvel down for me at the end, like very Ant-Man 2-esque, where it's kind of like, it's okay, but kind of nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I really loved the Macton stuff. Like the costumes,
I do like the
amazing.
Macton stuff.
The action was pretty great. But yeah, like story-wise, like
I do struggle to remember parts of it because it wasn't that memorable to me.
Oh yeah, the end of the girl villain, her story, and the power broker reveal and that stuff. It was all pretty.
Well, yeah, she just got shot in the end. It was very
pretty anticlimactic. Anticlimactic.
And then Sharon or Susan, anticlimactic. Did you just say?
Something along those lines, yeah.
Good. Just wanted to make sure. Was it Susan or Sharon or what's her face is bad at the end?
Yeah.
Sharon. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. To be honest, like I really enjoyed it as I was watching it because I did a review after each one. I kind of, I viewed each episode sort of individually, and I enjoyed most of the episodes individually. Looking back on it as a whole, it was like I really did enjoy it. As a bit of time has passed, it was a little bit like kind of normal Marvel. Like it wasn't anything too. I think also, and I'll try to maybe fix this in the future, but I think doing those reviews like right after I've seen it, I'm kind of trying to think of my thoughts. Like I don't really reflect that much because now that I'm thinking back more like generally, I'm like, yeah, it was good and fun, but like it wasn't.
No, yeah, you do have that kind of like because it's recent. It's yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it. I think I said in my review like I'd put it pretty like top tier Marvel. Like I don't know if it's top tier. It was good and very good at times.
No, I think it's pretty average tier Marvel. It's along the like.
I think it's a little
Captain America 1.
Well, Captain America 1 is god tier Marvel. Thank you very much.
Do you think so?
It was like the first one I ever saw. It's one of my favorites. Tucci's in it. Come on.
Tucci is in it.
He's a skinny dude and then dies. Wow. Disrespecting Tucci on the pod? What's next?
What's this pod become?
What have you turned into?
I don't even recognize you anymore.
But I did think it was a pretty solid finale, and yeah, there were some great episodes in there, and there were a couple of pretty meh episodes. I would say episode 2 and 5 from memory, and then some really great
episode
stuff.
2 was my favorite, genuinely.
Yeah, I mean that's the one with like I only really remember the Mackie Stan banter from that one.
Yeah,
like it was.
That's what I came there for.
It was solid, but it was more meh. I mean, and then also episode 5 was just not great writing. Besides the Isaiah Bradley stuff, there was just like when they're throwing the shield and they were like, "This shield is my family," and I don't know. A lot of the writing sometimes, like it was a good. I liked like what the writing was saying, but the way it was like delivered and executed was a bit like, bit
So you're basically saying that Macton did a terrible job.
No, I'm saying, like, I don't know.
You're basically saying that Sebastian Stan should never have a job again.
I'm saying, oh God, no, I'm not saying that.
You're saying Simo is the worst person you've ever met. Actually, I really liked all the Simo stuff.
Simo was so delightful. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll just throw these two here together. Well, this must be really old, but yeah, I finished New Girl. I think we talked about it, but I know we didn't talk. I finished it, but it was fun.
Oh, yeah, it's there. I know I'm missing out so many things because I've watched like so much the last like
no worries.
month and a half since we did these ones.
You
so.
could also start noting it down like a true podcaster.
Well, see, I was gonna do that, and then I realized I've got a life.
And I realized I'm not a huge fucking nerd. But yeah, I finished New Girl. I didn't even realize I finished it because all the seasons have like 28 episodes or whatever, or 20 episodes, and then the last one has 13. I didn't notice, so I was on like the 13th episode. I was like, yeah, okay, I still got like half a season, and then it was a really like wholesome kind of like, it felt a bit like a wrap-up.
You're sitting there, what is happening?
But I was like, okay, this is a bit of a strangely like wholesome episode, but okay. And then like it ends, and then it was like, okay, which series do you want to watch now? And I was like, that was it, like that was the end. Like,
oh, that's not very nice, is it?
Yeah.
You're sitting there thinking,
I mean,
I've still got more Winnie the Bish left, and then there's no.
And
more
like
Winnie the
in
Bish.
retrospect, it was a pretty solid finale, but it was just kind of surprised. I was like, oh, it was kind of an anticlimax. It was ripped away from me, but just super enjoyable, just super fun. We talked about it a lot, and then I also started The Good Place, which I've seen a couple of episodes
The Good
of.
Place.
It's by Michael Schur or Schur. I think it's Schur. I'm not sure though.
Michael, why not? Sure. No, I think it's pretty good.
No.
I think this is the
try
top
again.
tier.
Actually, don't. But who did The Office and like Parks and Rec and stuff, and it's about this woman played by what's her name? She voices Anna in Frozen. Kristen Bell, I think. And she dies.
Does Kristen Bell voice? She dies.
She dies, and she goes to the good place, which is kind of like heaven-ish, but it's this like, it's this like perfect utopian society or whatever.
But it's just Boston.
But it turns out that she's actually not supposed to be there. She's there by accident because she was kind of a shitty person when she was on Earth. And so the show is kind of about that. It's a pretty fun premise. Ted Danson is there. He's pretty delightful. Other people are there, and they're pretty good.
And he's delightful. The others are there, I guess.
I've only seen 2.5 episodes. It's fine. I think it's a good. I think I needed after New Girl. I needed the new like chill out kind of like comedy fun show. And it's not, at least yet, it's not as good as New Girl, but it's it's a fun premise. It's decent. I haven't laughed like that much yet, but I haven't hated it. So. It's yeah,
and that's always a plus.
It's solid. I don't know. Maybe I think I'll keep watching it. Yeah, but you
guess I'll give it my time.
But go ahead, sir.
Oh, I don't. Do you have another one? I'll think, and then I'll hit you.
I have 3 more. Yeah. I did in fact for Mother's Day. I watched with the family one of my mom's favorite movies, which I was not familiar with beforehand. It's called Working Girl.
Working Girl. I think I've heard of this one.
From the 80s. It's of course I can't remember her name. Some actress from the 80s. Pretty famous. And Harrison Ford. And they have like a romance, and she's a secretary who then pretends to be her boss, because her boss played by oh come on, I know her name. The woman from Aliens. The woman.
Winona.
No, but that's not that far off, to be fair. Sigourney Weaver. Yeah. So anyway, she pretends to be.
It's kind of far off.
It's a very, very 80s movie. It was. I'll be honest. When it first started, I was like, okay, yeah, this is not my kind of like.
All right.
Like I'll watch it, and of course it's fun. It's like fun to watch with the family kind of thing. But I was like, it's not really my kind of thing. By the end, I was like, hey, that was actually pretty fun. I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
Harrison's great. The main actress is great, and it does feature a distinctly young and hairy-chested Alec Baldwin.
No.
Who is very hairy-chested. I feel like I have to point that out because, oh my god. It's so hairy.
Oh my god, I could weave braids on that man.
And 2, he's just the worst human being ever in it. He's her like terrible boyfriend who cheats on her and then gets mad at her because of that, I think, and then breaks up with her because he cheated on her.
Okay, sounds justified, just like everything else Baldwin does.
He cheats on her, then proposes to her, then gets mad, she says no, and then breaks up with her, which is the ultimate Baldwin trifecta of assholery. It's
mainly the proposal part, because no woman wants to be insulted like that.
No, but it was it was fun. It was a good kind of 80s, a bit cheesy, you know, very 80s kind of movie. It was enjoyable, and it was fun to watch like with the family, you know, family kind of movie night sort of thing. So
yeah. Okay, I got something. I don't think most of our listeners will know this because it is a Danish program, but it's such a cool premise. It's called Alene i Vildmarken, so alone in the wild, I guess. And it's basically it's like a reality show kind of thing, where I think it's 6 or 8 people get put into like Norway's wilderness, and then they have to survive for as long as possible.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
and then whoever oh yeah, easy. But the thing it's because there's a few shows like that, but it's still very staged and stuff like that. But this is like they have to film everything themselves, so they're given like 8 GoPros, and then they have to film their entire journey themselves. So there's no contact whatsoever, right? And then they've got like a panic button if they like get injured or want to go home.
Yeah.
And then it's whoever wins gets like I think it's 500,000 kroner. And it's pretty damn cool seeing
500,000 kroner. Like, that doesn't seem like that much for that kind of premise.
I mean,
like if I was going to do that, I would want more money. If I had to survive in the Norwegian wilderness. Because what is that in dollars?
It's like $80,000. That's
not. Yeah, come on. That's $60,000.
Give me 2 million and we'll talk.
Oh wait, that's Swedish kroner. What's in Danish kroner? Okay, yeah, it's $80,000. That's I feel like it's not a fair price, but anyway, go ahead.
But like they're out there for like, I don't think they do it for the price. In fairness, it's more like
well, they're probably wild,
the actual cool
wild
journey.
People who
some wild dudes. And yeah, like seeing their whole survival thing, like building the shelter, catching fish, because they're given like tarmac to put over as sheltering, and then they get an axe and a fishing net, and then that's everything they get. And then seeing how they like kind of struggle, but also like get some victories. It's very very wholesome at times. And so just watch that whilst we eat dinner. It's very 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 good.
Huh. Well, it sounds very much like a show probably the listeners have. Maybe you've heard of it as well. It's basically the same thing, the American equivalent called Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Afraid, yeah.
Which is where they're dropped in like the wilderness with no clothes and like one item you choose to bring with you, and then you have to survive with another person, and like it seems pretty.
The thing is like, it's just because that show's filmed by like a camera crew that's with them though, right? Yeah,
but they can't people. It seems pretty real.
Yeah, I know, but like
they get like
injured. I know, but just like the fact that you know that these people are sitting there like having to film it all themselves, like it's pretty cool.
Pretty intense, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Would you? So I imagine you would do that just for like.
I would not genuinely. I have considered applying for it, but I can't because of uni. So it'd be. It'd be very cool.
Yeah, if there's anyone of like our friend circle, like of the people we know who would do that, I can picture you, the wilderness man. You'd do it for free.
I'll pay them to go.
But yeah, like I don't know, the whole. I mean, it's mostly like the whole like capturing your own food and all that kind of stuff. Like I can get behind that. I've done some camping
I am
trips.
A provider after all.
But like I don't know, the infections that they sometimes get on those shows, and like the bugs that like terrorize them at night.
Yeah,
like,
one of the main things is like the weather. That's really really harsh because they do it in like fall and like going into winter.
Yeah,
it's quite tough.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. In fairness, they do get a medical checkup every 10 days for like 30 minutes, and then that's it, just to make sure that they're like okay.
Not dead. Fair enough. Well, hey, there you go. Look out for Frederick on Naked in the Wilderness, or whatever it's called.
Naked in the Wilderness. It's not a reality show. It's just
look
an
up,
oil painting.
Just look out for Frederick being naked in the wilderness. He just does that sometimes.
It's just I look out your window in the car.
What a terrifying sight! You're like
running
at a
Bucky
cabin.
speed.
You just look out. You're just circling the house.
Oh my
There's
God.
no escape.
God.
Well, speaking of people who've probably
Make a connection.
run around naked in the wilderness, Russell Crowe.
Oh, definitely.
Another thing I watched with the family, I watched The Nice Guys. And just, can I just say, it's been a while since I watched it, so like I hadn't forgotten how good it was. But man, what an absolute like classic of a movie. It is genuinely one of my favorites of all time. Like, it is so funny. It had me like, it had the sides hurting from laughing, you know?
It had you ruffling.
It had me ruffling all over. Yeah, just action's great. It's hilarious. It's genuinely Ryan Gosling's performance in that. One of my like favorite performances of like the 2010s. Like, he's it's so good at that as that character. And because man, that guy is so talented. Like, he's done all these dramatic roles, and he's so funny in that movie. The 70s vibe of it is like, the 70s aesthetic is so perfect. It's this like, it's also, after you've seen it a few times, you can actually like follow the story, because it sort of has that like overly complicated, like, you're not exactly supposed to follow every like piece of it. You kind of get the general gist the first time. Like, when you actually follow it, like, it's actually, you know, it's quite clever. It's just so much fun. It's one of the most fun movies of all time.
A lot like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, right?
Yeah. It's basically, that's why I feel a little bit less bad about it not getting a sequel, because I would love to see a sequel to it. But the fact that Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is basically, like, those two movies are basically like a sequel, because even though they have different characters, they're, you know, quite similar in style. So there are two of those great movies, even though this one didn't get a sequel, which, oh my God, what a fucking shame. Like, and it sets up for a sequel so well at the end. Even after watching, my dad was like, why didn't they make a second one? And I'm like, I don't know, man. As I cried my eyes out.
And it's been a while since I watched this, but still, after the last mini review, I watched Collateral.
Ooh.
Starring
a little Cnews.
Cruise and the derpiest fox.
Is there any other kind of fox? Cruise with the white hair?
Cruise with the like gray hair, yeah.
Oof.
This is such a good movie, honestly.
It's
very
action movie?
It's an action movie. So Cruise is like a hitman. And then he
but enough about Cruise's personal
arrives in
life.
He arrives in I think it's Vegas. I think it's Vegas he arrives in. And then Fox is like a taxi driver, and then Cruise is like, "Yo, can I pay you to just be my taxi driver for the entire night?" And Fox is like, "Okay, bit of a weird request, but aight," because he says that he has got to go to different meetings, but the meetings are in fact Cruise going to kill the people, right? But then it goes wrong, where after like the second stop, Cruise kills someone from a balcony, and then the dude.
Fox.
Well, they fall on Fox's car, I believe.
Hashtag ass.
And then, Fox like sees the whole thing happen, and then he's dragged into it. And then, I think you'd really like it as well, because it's very good action, and Cruise is quite badass.
It's been on my list for a while. Yeah, it seems Cruise as a hitman. That's I can really picture that. You know, he has that kind of cold.
Yeah, he does
edge to him,
and he plays it very well. Also, funny little trivia piece of thing here. So there's a stunt where they crash the car, right, and like flips upside down. But when they filmed that, it was supposed to, like, something went wrong and the car actually flipped with Cruise and Fox inside.
Oh my God.
And at this time, this is from 2004, Fox was not the star that he is today. So then, like, the crew rushed in and basically pushed Fox out of the way to get to Cruise.
God. Oh my God. I feel like Cruise demanded that. If we get an accident,
in Cruise's contract.
Leave this dude behind. Oh, poor Fox. My God. And see, nowadays, Cruise would actively ask to be flipped in a upside down car.
Yeah.
So, damn. How times have changed for both men.
Exactly.
It does sound bloody fun. And then my final one here, and this is something that I've encouraged you to watch heavily because I think it is like exactly your kind of thing. Invincible was amazing.
Okay, I haven't seen it. I'm getting around to it.
I won't spoil it at all. But it's, one season, 8 episodes. It's, like, tight, nice and, like, fits its runtime. And it is so good. It's like, it's kind of an anime-ish style mixed with, like, Justice League Unlimited. Like, those kind of animation styles and, like, that kind of, like, DC world with, like, monsters and all this, like, superhero stuff. And then it's, like, it's a bit like The Boys. It's extremely gruesome and brutal at points. Like, genuinely, some of the most disturbing stuff, like, I've seen in a show in a long time. In the finale, I will not spoil anything, but there's one moment. I mean, there's several moments, but there's one moment in particular. My God. Fucking insane. It involves a train. That's all I'll say. And it's just so much fun. It's like, it's kind of anime-ish and superhero-ish and just a great combination. I think it's so much your kind of thing.
I definitely want to watch it. It sounds very good.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of twists along the way. There's freaking all kinds of different creatures and antagonists and fun plot threads with like more serious dark plot threads over the top. And so many good voice actors. Let me just sneaky look at the cast here who show up. We do have, in fact, the Simmons in a fantastic role. We have Steven Yeun in the main role. He's great. We have Mark Hamill, Gillian Jacobs, Zazie Beetz. Seth Rogen makes a sneaky little appearance. Sandra Oh, Jason Mantzoukas, Walton Goggins.
No, my God.
In a great
I didn't know
role?
It was a cast of convicted criminals.
Zachary Quinto.
The old Walty Gog.
Just... Who?
No.
Justin Roiland?
Who is it?
Just so good. It's not just good because of the cast, but just in general, bloody, it's a banger. It gets off like to a slightly slow start. Not like the first episode's a bit, I was kind of thinking like, all right, this is a bit, sort of seen this before, but then it really picks up and it's just absolute banger. So, highly recommend that. And once you've seen it, we can do a more in-depth discussion because I think you'll also want to talk about it.
Okay. No, definitely.
Well, then I do believe it's time for...
The damn Cnews.
Now, we are often scrambling for some Tom Cnews, like a bunch of mice scrambling for a scrap of cheese.
For a slice of cheese.
However...
But we've entered the cheese closet, you say.
Well, the cheese closet. I feel like you definitely have a cheese closet. And it's where you keep your dad. We are spoiled for Tom Cnews this week. So I don't even know which... I have 3 pieces of Tom Cnews here. And I don't know if we divide it up for the future episodes or we just do a smorgasbord of Tom Cnews.
A smorgasbord.
A smorgasbord? Let's do a smorgasbord. You've convinced me.
Alright, we're doing the smorgasbord.
So first of all, a friend of mine goes to St. Andrews University, and she, again, a horrific thing, a reminder that some of our friends listen to the podcast. She just sends me a text that says, Tom Cnews, ? And it's an article of Tom Cruise stopping by St. Andrews to play some golf. So,
oh my gosh.
Again, just a horrific text to receive.
Tom Cnews? Sad face?
Then, I was tagged on Twitter because as you know, I don't use Twitter, but I log on occasionally to see if I've been if someone's sent me any threats this morning.
Okay.
Let's see who was Elemental Jedi 82 tagged me in some Tom Cnews, and it was the first look at Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 7. It's a very odd photo. It's Cruise standing on a train, but not on top of it. He's on the side of it, and he's in a suit.
Okay.
And it looks very much like a photo shoot for some kind of magazine. So I don't know if this is a still from the film or if it's just something they took
this is just
for the
Cruise
sake of
actually commuting.
Yeah. This is just how Cruz got to set every day. But yeah, it looks like Cruz just standing on like the Hogwarts Express, just like chilling. It's kind of odd. But then, in even better Cnews, it has been revealed his most dangerous stunt yet, which he's doing for Mission Impossible 7. Which, I mean, I would argue he's done more dangerous things, but it's still...
I'm not impressed by this.
But it's still pretty dangerous. Tom Cruise rode a motorcycle off the edge of a cliff. But again, enough about Tom Cruise's personal life.
No, like, I feel like he's done...
I don't know, the thing is, with these things that he does, I think he peaked with, like, the craziest thing you can do, with the Burj Khalifa and the plane thing. And now, even though the stuff he's doing is still spectacular, it's still great in the films, and it, like... It might potentially be more dangerous. Like the skydiving thing in Mission Impossible 6, it's just not as like, I don't know. It's like when you say it to someone, like saying he hung off the edge of a plane, or like
but see, I think
even though it is still very spectacular and dangerous.
Yeah, I think it's because there's so many like safety harnesses and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, this one,
those things. But this one, I guess it's just a parachute or something.
Yeah, and he said, if I hadn't, like, if there had been, like, if the wind had changed direction while I was going off the ramp, like, I would have died. So, pretty scary Cnews stuff. But he did it because he's a madman. He does everything for our entertainment, and/or because he's just adrenaline junkie, I guess. I don't know. But,
he has to be, I guess.
Yeah, so crazy.
One day he's gonna get killed making these.
Yeah, I hope not. But it's not. I mean, it's looking. He's pushing his luck here. But yeah, all these podcasts are going to age terribly if Cnews splatters onto the edge of a cliff going off a motorcycle. But he also...
God, that'll make for a sad Tom Cnews episode.
So it's time for...
It's time for Tom Cnews. He's dead.
The theme song plays, and then immediately afterwards go, yeah, he's dead. And then that's it.
Yeah. We just sit in silence as church bells go.
So now it's time for the announcements and such. But
we still continue the Tom Cnews after he's dead.
God, it's very messed up. Of course, yeah, we wish Cnews the longest and happiest of lives. But yeah, also I have to say I do enjoy this. They did this in 6 as well, where like in 6 there wasn't really like one main stunt, but there were like a bunch of different. Also very dangerous like stunts throughout, which I enjoy. So it looks like they're doing that here as well. Can't wait. Also, Haley Atwell's in it, and presumably others, maybe. So Simon Pegg, it's shaping up to be a great film. So can't wait.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the announcements and such, and we're actually going to do it today because it's close enough to when this pod is going out. Even though we're going to miss some stuff, it's Tuesday, May 11th, 2021. But yeah, let's just do it now because why not?
Yeah, fair.
So.
Fair.
First of all, I just want to say, yeah, I did pull a big, goofy hashtag skateboarding last time.
I did pull a big, goofy hashtag skateboarding.
Because I missed out like a bunch of comments and some stuff on the fan page, so we're just going to go through that stuff now. First of all, some comments on the Gentleman Ben and Fred Watch. And by the way, if I don't mention your comment, it's not because I didn't absolutely love it. Although maybe I didn't, you never know. But these are just
although that could be the case.
These are just like ones that we have something to say about, so I'll just pull this up here. First of all, Kian wrote, "My birthday's in a week, and this was the perfect early birthday gift. So happy birthday, Kian!" And there you go. Movie Guy says, "What the fuck? This is too much to handle." So
a delightful
thank
comment.
you, Movie Guy. And yeah, just some very nice comments there. General Daniel, good stuff. Also, Movie Boy 2011 says next one should be Grown Ups 2 or Jack and Jill or Catwoman. I'm not sure how to feel about that. Also, Kian says, now that we've had Ben and Fred watch of an amazing film, we need you guys to watch a shitty film. So why him? So shots fired from Kian there.
Oh, God.
I feel like just all the pod fans hate you now. It's just so much.
Yeah. Why is why him such a like? It's always like political division it creates. Like,
Sire05 on pod. Now we're on pod 83. He says, "Wow, it seems we have finally reached the lowest level of dignity this podcast can reach. Actually, knowing you guys, you'll probably be able to pull something even worse off with a little effort. Also, 4th anniversary, we need a Ben and Fred watch for tag. P.S. I don't mean to ruin the joke, but I put it in there to avoid any misunderstanding if it's taken seriously. Although that tag suggestion is 100% serious."
I think he meant every word of it, and that we should ban him.
So yeah, I like the idea of a Ben and Fred Watch tag. In a different universe, this podcast is called The Planned Podcast from Cole Walker. I do not want to live in that universe. It sounds awful.
Sounds like just the worst thing.
General
Imagine
Daniel,
how douchey it would sound if we called ourselves The Planned Podcast.
the really intellectual, well thought out podcast.
The podcast where no mistakes are ever made.
Movie Guy. True Poorly Planned fans know from episode 31 that it wasn't Goofy, but Goofy's son Max skateboarding game. So we actually talked about this game earlier, and I must have messed up. I feel like it is Goofy, though, but God. I don't know. Maybe I did. And he says, why do I know this? You know this because you're a loyal listener, and also you're a loyal Goofy player skateboard man. So good on you.
A loyal Goofy player skateboard man.
Then Anson Hartzler says, I could not care less about UFC, but I love hearing you guys talk about it. It clearly brings you much joy, which I love this comment.
I thought it was just going to be, I could not give less of a shit about UFC.
At the
end of comment.
I love, no, I actually really love that comment, because, yeah, like, that's also how I felt about the True Geordie UFC talk before I started watching UFC, where, like, I didn't really care about it that much, but I was like, it's kind of interesting to hear about, so, I don't know, I love that, it's very nice. And also, GC Green left a very nice comment, which I thought I gave the little thumbs up from the pod account, but apparently I didn't. But basically he says,
sorry about that.
Mowing lawns wasn't so boring after all, having this pod to listen to. Genuinely hilarious. My neighbors probably think I'm insane for chuckling to myself while mowing the lawn, but little did they know that Phil Coulson was just referred to as a sex demon. Can't wait for the next pod. So yeah, I love that.
God.
Again, yeah.
I do think that's one of my favorite episodes we've done in a while.
And yeah,
that was a good one.
I love the because me with the Weekly Planet, mowing lawns, doing chores, going on car rides, all this stuff. People enjoy our podcast in that way. Bloody brilliant. And yeah, just generally nice comments here. Mm-hmm. And then finally, Pod 84. Again, very nice comments. Movie Guy says, maybe we should give this pod a soft reboot, Russian accent, by removing the host and co-host and then rebranding it to the Planned Podcast. So clearly everyone just wants the Planned Podcast.
What is this Planned Podcast?
We will never stoop
They want to remove us and then call it the Planned Podcast.
And Dominic says, Freddy and the Legend of the 10 Headbands. I have to say, maybe we said headbands by accident, but it's actually wristbands. You have a bunch of bracelets.
Yeah.
Although you've been known to rock a bandana occasionally.
I could rock a bandana, you know.
Lovely comments in general, and even stuff we didn't mention here. Just nice comments, so thank you guys. And finally, some fan page stuff, which I forgot to get to last time. I missed out. But 2021 has finally peaked, everyone, with Ben and Fred Watch the Gentleman. So thank you for that.
Uh-huh.
And then this was, I have to say, a very good spot from Cian. We talk about how tasty the burgers were in the beginning of the Ben and Fred Watch, and then an hour and 12 minutes in, I say, man, I was really enjoying my burger. And he says, how long does it take for you guys to finish a burger? So I'm pretty sure I'd finished it by then. But I don't know why I said, maybe I was enjoying digesting it. I don't know. But it's kind of a weird thing to say. It's like a good spot, Cian.
I do. Actually, I think I remember you just sitting there licking it like a lollipop.
Just getting all the béarnaise sauce off it. So yeah, no, good stuff. Check out the fan pages, link down below. And oh, it's not even done actually. I have a hateful message that I got about you. I can't find it now, but JC Comics basically sent in images. Google search what is the worst movie, it shows Couples Retreat, and then Google search what is the worst franchise, it shows Pirates of the Caribbean. So
God, what is this actual war crime beef I've got with this dude?
So he hates everything you love, and I love that.
Was it why him it started out with, and now
Probably.
Or was it?
I think it was Murder on the Orient Express. Who knows? Also,
JC's just out. He just wants to be on this podcast.
He knows how to get on the show as being extremely controversial. And also, I was thinking we do that A24 actors we can beat up tier list that you sent me a meme of on Instagram, where there's like a tier list of actors from A24 films we get beat up. Maybe we'll do that some other episode. But yeah, a good shout
A24. There. What is that?
It's like a movie studio. They make like kind of artsy films.
Okay. Because I saw that, I was like, what is this?
Ew.
Gross.
And we're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and if you're listening on those, we're on YouTube, Poorly Planned Podcast. Subscribe, like the video, give us 5-star ratings.
Exclusive content.
Oh, so much exclusive content. By so much, I mean occasionally. But It's really good when it's there, so be sure to subscribe.
Mhm.
And yeah, leave us a positive review, I guess, if that's a thing you do. And yeah, that's the episode for this week. Shuts down.
Shuts down.
Thank you very much for listening. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com.
You can find me on Instagram at fdalgard, Twitter at FDK_Dalsniper, and on YouTube at FDK Space Gaming.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Boston.